This is Janelle. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to react to Bridgerton episode 6, and I believe we're going to be watching together the rest of the season. So we have 6, 7, 8. I mean, I intend on watching the entire season tonight because I really cannot wait any longer. I fear that I'm going to be spoiled at this point, so I gotta watch it before I get spoiled. And when I say spoiled, I mean I know what's going to happen. I've read the book. The type of spoiler that I'm mentioning is what the show can provide as a surprise, because of course I want to be surprised. I like when shows, movies kind of take a different turn from the book, so at least they try to be a little bit more creative. I don't want them to be completely replica of the book. There's no need. I want something a little bit different. Still be truthful to the nature of the book, but I want something more. So that's what I'm expecting, and I don't want to be spoiled in any way. So without further ado, let's get into it.
You all ready?
Of course I am.
Got hands
Born
on me
ready.
looks.
Shall we? You're late.
Well, in
She's
truth,
gonna
I
try to
was
convince him
delayed by
not to get
doubts about
married.
whether the festivities of this day might or might not take place.
Does the Duchess not care for your bride, brother?
I find Miss Edwina to be quite lovely and deserving of the truth, which we must not deny her.
Now, I'm confused. Who's denying what to whom?
Benedict, you must excuse us. It seems the Duchess has opinions. But I wish the best man listens to the great good.
I really like Anthony. He's so sarcastic, you know? Jesus.
I have been here, and I have seen you at all stages. I witnessed you change the day he died. Do you know you did not even weep once? And you stopped laughing altogether, in fact. It was as though you had become an entirely different person, consumed by the expectations of others.
And what choice did I have? I changed so that our family might survive, so that you could be respectable enough to marry a duke. I'm happy for you, sister, but I'm not like you. I've never wished to succumb to the blind delight of being in love. I cannot so indulge myself.
You can choose to be happy. To follow the desires of your heart instead of pushing away any feeling that comes to the surface. It should not be a luxury, but a right to choose, to fight for the family that you want.
I fight for the family that I have.
Yeah.
And you will never understand because you were born to marry into another family while I was born to carry on the Bridgerton name. That is what outweighs anything else.
I never saw this from this perspective because I always felt like Daphne had the greatest intent in trying to guide him and show him the way to open his heart to Kate and to show his emotions, right? But at the end of the day, they're two different people. They're two different persons, and they're performing two different roles, because she's a duchess, but she was born into another family, and she was born to become, you know, someone else, part of another family, to marry into and create her own nuclear family, right? And at that point, she would make decisions for herself and her family. But in his scenario, his burden is quite greater because he has to carry a legacy. And it's like he has to carry a legacy of his family. He carries the weight of his siblings. He carries the responsibility that everyone marries and everyone is has a respectable role in society. He has that role. Daphne never had that role. So he has a greater burden, and we cannot assume that just falling in love and kind of like falling into temptation can resolve this role or satisfy, compensate for this role, for the lacks of the role. He has to accomplish his goals. He has to fulfill his duties. That's important to him because his legacy is important. It's important for his father. He does it for his father. His father is part of the reason why he's carrying his legacy, and he has the right to prioritize that. He absolutely has the right to prioritize that. And the problem is happiness. He's sacrificing his happiness. Let him choose happiness. she's trying to convince him, but he has to make the decision. He has to do that. No one can choose for him. No one can. Only he can do that. Yeah.
The Archbishop would like you to repeat, my lord, after him.
Yes, of course.
I, Lord Anthony Bridgerton,
Shit. Oh.
Allow me.
That doesn't look good at all. Does she understand now? She's so blind, by the way. My God, it's been like this in front of her eyes. Is she realizing it now? Yes, she is. I can see.
Miss Edwina, you...
Wait, need a moment.
She needs a moment.
I am not sure what is going on.
I should tell you what is going on, Mama. After a lifetime of filling my head with nonsense of all this talk of great, gallant notions and looks between us, you have feelings for him. All this time, you wanted him for yourself.
No, that is not true.
Oh, you cannot deny it now, Kate. How could I have been such a fool? You lied to me again and again. You told me. You told me we had put all secrets to rest, but no. The Sheffield inheritance, that was merely the beginning of your deception. I fooled myself into believing you had only the purest of intentions. That your only desire was for me to be happy.
And you are no one's fool. That is the truth.
We must speak.
Do you realize how
I
improper
have just
this
met
is?
with Miss Edwina. She was harsher than I knew her capable of being.
Yeah,
You cannot
well,
hold her for that.
I concede I do not know her as well as you do, but that is why I'm coming to you now. You must do something.
What would you have me do, my lord? More plotting and scheming to get her to comply? It seems my sister
it didn't
has
work.
finally become wise to all of it.
Yeah.
In one way, I should be quite proud.
So you intend simply to cease to help her and hide in a closet as she ruins her life?
I have ruined her life. You should not be here.
Just... Wait.
The way they were looking at each other, I was getting a little bit emotional. Like, I was getting goosebumps. Like, seriously, it's so intense the way they look at each other. It's so private. It's so chemical. Like, it's really, the chemistry is so strong. Honestly, I'm trying to remind myself which chemistry resembles to this, because I think this is the best chemistry I've seen on screen, but there's one more chemistry that I've seen on screen that's quite comparable, maybe not as sexual in tone, but mostly like a more puppy love. Have you ever guys Roswell, New Mexico, Roswell the show, but the old version, like the original 1990s, Liz Parker and Max Evans, they are a couple that, you know, they had the best chemistry on screen, and I thought they were fabulous. And they even had some sexual tones in some episodes, but it was mostly puppy love, and because they were very young. And I don't know, the chemistry in this show reminds me of that couple's chemistry for some reason, even though they're completely different stories, different eras, and also different type of chemistry, but there's, in terms of strength and level, we're there. That's how compatible these actors are, and it's quite extraordinary to witness that in acting. It's just beautiful to see. They really draw you in. They really do. They give. They truly give. That's what I'm trying to say. They share that emotion with us, so with the audience, with the spectator. We see that, we witness that, but we're more than just witnesses. We're like, we feel like next to them, almost near their bodies. We feel that. It's just, it's amazing. It's extraordinary, as I said, and keeps me interested. It keeps me in the waiting for something more. The longing is there, and it's absolutely great. It's great. I love that. And that's what I admire about the season more so than in season one, just because of the story in season one didn't allow that longing that much. It was like maybe in the beginning, but I've seen that during their first dance of Daphne and the Duke. I thought that the chemistry there was beautiful, but then after that, it kind of like started becoming a little bit more too sexual for me, for my taste. You know, when there's something repeated too much, it loses the value to me, or at least in my eyes. Instead, if it's something that doesn't happen that often and it's longed for, it's like almost worth watching it, and you know, it makes you like, it almost like you won. Finally, you got to the point where you wanted to be.
I do not know which pains me more. Your betrayal or your pity.
Edwina, you are my sister.
Half sister.
Is such a strong speech, and it makes me think, because she's saying something very important. She's saying, if I'm going to marry him, it is not to please you, it is to please me. And it makes me think that Kate in the end wanted them to be together, like his sister, I mean her sister and Anthony, because he wanted so much to deviate from her feelings. It was a way to protect herself. Anthony represents a taboo for Kate. So the only way to get rid of that taboo, or the temptation to give in, is to basically give him up. Like almost give him up to his sister to get married. So at that point, it will be impossible for them to give in, because they will have that barrier, which will be the marriage with Edwina. So she feels that. She feels that she was thrown into this wedding to please her, to protect herself from her own self, what she would do with him, from her own feelings. That's so strong of a speech. This concept is enormous. It just explains the characters so well and what they have been doing throughout this entire season, because that's what she has been doing throughout. She reflected all her insecurities and all her love and hate towards Edwina. So all her feelings were kind of transported and transferred to her, even the love that she feels for him. And what was left over in her was regret, hate, resentment, and then she transferred the beautiful feeling, the positive feelings into her mind. Wants to be her own self. She doesn't want to be a reflection of Kate's wishes.
I may not know exactly what true love feels like, but I certainly know what it is not.
Yeah.
It is not deception, or wandering eyes, or a role to be fulfilled. I cannot marry you because I cannot betray myself. You will never meet my eyes in the same manner that you met my sister's on that altar today. You will never.
Yeah.
You'll
Just
never
sad.
look at me the same way.
Yeah. It's just sad, you know?
You say you have spent your life trying to give me everything I lacked. But really, you simply gave me everything you really wanted for yourself. As
See?
though my life
That's
were
what I'm
not my
saying.
own.
Like she
I did not ask
transferred
for any of it, Kate.
all her wishes. Everything that she wanted to
So
be, she
today,
gave it to her.
I can be sure
because
that what I
she
leave
felt that
behind
she
is
didn't
not
deserve
my
it.
loss. It is yours.
Okay,
the
how are we
moment
gonna kiss
go.
now? Because I'm in the mood. Come on. Kiss, 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 kiss.
The moment we step foot outside those doors,
It's time. Come on.
we
Get
face
on it.
the truth
Of our situation.
of our
Come on.
failures.
Come on.
We have indeed failed, my lord. Of our duties, of our
dying.
responsibilities. We have failed at it all.
Yes, indeed, you guys.
So
failed.
forgive me if it is now my wish to suspend time, to delay the inevitable, to for a mere moment not think of what comes next,
Yes.
to wait.
Oh my God.
Goodbye, my lord.
married. Why did you stop? So beautiful. My goodness, that was amazing. Oh my gosh, I love them so. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful together. Oh, love that kiss scene. I love that. Love it. Love that. Oh my god, it was good. I wanted more. They better have sex next episode. No, this time, listen, I don't usually call for intimacy. I don't usually need that. But for them to, after freaking 7 episodes, 6 episodes of nothing and long and everything, that longing has to be fulfilled. Has to be fulfilled. So it has to happen, okay? It was more stationary episode. It was so stuck on the wedding and the aftermath of the not wedding. Like they didn't go through. So it was very static. It was almost in the same place. It took place in the church and the residence, and then they go back to the church and they kiss. Like it was pretty much an event. You could absolutely expect that from the title, The Choice. It was very focused. What do you think it means? Is it their choice or is Edwina's choice? In my opinion, it refers to Edwina. It's her choice. Without her choice, guess what? They would have gone through with this charade. Basically, he would have married her, and that one would have gone to India regretting this for the rest of her life. So it was Edwina's choice that allowed them to be together and realize that they love each other and they can't stay away from each other because otherwise they will be miserable. So Edwina basically allowed this to happen. It's thanks to her, to her self-awareness and regaining of self-awareness that she allowed this to happen. So we have to thank her for, understanding that there was not going to be a beautiful, happy future with Anthony because he's in love with someone else. That's obvious, So, and I'm happy she realized that in the end. It was important for her to realize that because Anthony, of course, didn't want to fool her or make a fool of her, but he kind of did in the sense that he wanted to be honest, but Kate pushed them. You have to marry her because at this point they were kind of an advanced stage of their dating. So he felt pressure that he needed to marry her. But at the end of the day, he needed to be truthful to her from the beginning, and he kept lying even when they met after, when she wanted to speak with him. He even said, it doesn't matter whether I have feelings or not, I know that you can perform the role well and you'll be perfect as a wife. But that was not sufficient because being a wife is not just a role to play, it's more than that. And what about the compromise? What about the affinity, the things that you have in common, the chemistry? If that lacks, there's nothing that can come out of it. You can have respect, you can have dignity and all of that, but you can have mutual respect, but you cannot have happiness with only that. It's impossible. You have to have more than that. And there has to be a form of love, and he found that love. It's just he couldn't accept the fact that he found that with Kate and not with Edwina, which is his ideal woman and wife. Obviously, Kate is not his ideal at all, by the way. Let's clarify this. Kate is the anti. Actually are quite the same. Anthony dislikes himself very much, and he put the wife role into a very high pedestal, which is much higher than where he is, of course. And Kate is most equal. It's not higher, it's equal. They're equal together. That's why they both made the mistake of lying and concealing these emotions. Not just Anthony did that. It's actually Kate pressured him to marrying her sister. So she made equal mistakes. Like I said, that they're the same. That's why Daphne always points out at the parallelism and the similarities between them. Because in fact, they're quite very much the same. If not, like, they're very similar. Think about it. They're very similar. They're the eldest too. So they have a burden You know, she had the burden to raise Edwina and in the manners that are appropriate to, you know, become a lady. And he had to do that to a degree as well. He has to marry his siblings and make sure they're connected well in society, and basically marry into a wealthy family. Never, he doesn't like the competition, and Kate is a competition for him because, like I said, they're very similar. They have the same interest. They always want to win. They always want to be right, self-righteous. They very stubborn. They like to say sports, they like hunting. They're very Kate is very manly. Like, she's the modern type of woman. She's modern. Edwina is old-fashioned. Same as Daphne. They comply, but they're quite, they're clever, but they're still in compliance with the requirements of the society. You know, Kate, no. Kate comes out of our world, basically. It's like a woman from our world that's being put into that era. So they're like more outsiders, like, and Anthony recognizes that and doesn't want that for himself. But again, love is inevitable, and love is blind, and love is also like you don't control it, just happens. Right, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the episode, and I'll see you there. I will be in the comments as well, and they're reading your comments, so make sure to let me know what you guys thought of the episode, because I'm curious. Absolutely, I'm curious. I want to know more about the kiss, especially. I want to know how we're going to do so many comparisons. I completely forgot Daphne and the Duke's kiss, how good it was. I have to rewatch it. I really want to compare. I think their kiss was more like secretive, I guess the word, how it happened. Theirs was more idyllic. It was epic, you know. It was nice. It was quite a weighted kiss. Yeah. But it was good. Even the music, I love the music. Love the music. Anyway, guys, let me know. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.